Hi everybody, it's Robin with Uniquely Robins. We have a real fun project today. I haven't made one of these in a long time, but we're going to go for it today. We're going to make a doorstop, and the first thing you'll need is a brick. If you can find a brick out in your yard, or they're only, a buck or so at Walmart, get yourself a brick. And the first thing we're going to do with our brick is we're going to cover it with some batting. Those scissors are not very good, are they? I really have to get me some better scissors, I think. Just roughly cutting around it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be seen. It's just going to give us a little softness. About to cut my finger. Okay. So there's our batting. And I'm going to roughly glue that on there. As soon as my glue gun warmed up here. Just started it, so we're gonna cut out a few other things in the meantime. I have an old scarf here. I'm gonna use this, so I want to make sure I have enough to go all the way around. Just roughly cutting that. Make sure I have enough to go around. And like I said, this part doesn't have to be perfect. We're just kind of rough cutting it right now. Okay. Move that out of the way. My brick up just a little bit. I'm going to trim some of this excess from the bottom. Okay. And I also have some coordinating fabric, and this is going to be for our top, and I think that is going to be plenty right there. Alright, you may want to iron this just to make it lay a little flatter. Looking to see if maybe I might want to cut another piece, but I really don't want to waste any more of that, so it'll be fine. But yeah, I would iron this a little flatter if I were you. Alright, let's see how our glue is doing. Now this doesn't have to be completely perfect because we just kind of want it to stay put, if you know what I mean. Keep it from sliding on us a little bit. I'm going to take this fabric and we're going to kind of wrap it like a present almost. So I'm going to turn it over. Try to make sure my seam is even. And I'm going to use my rough edge down first. And then we're going to put our seamed edge, just to get a little bit cleaner look. Except it doesn't matter. I mean, it's not that big of a deal if you don't have a clean edge, because we're going to cover this on the bottom here with some felt to keep it, if you have hardwood floors, it won't scratch your floor. So we're going to put this part down first. that over it. I'm just going to tack this side a little bit. And if you have excess, it'll peel right off once it dries. And like I said, we are going to cover that, so I'm not too awfully worried about it. Now on our sides, we're just going to kind of wrap this like a present. So we're going to put the flat side down. And I'm going to stick a little glue in there. Just to kind of hold that for us a little bit. I think I had enough glue. I'm going to trim this a little bit because it's a little longer than I want. We're going to fold that side in and tack it with some glue. Careful not to burn your fingers. I think my fingers are pretty used to it. I burn them all the time. I'm going to fold the other side in, tack it with some glue. If you don't feel comfortable using hot glue, I mean, you could use other kind of glue, or you can even sew these, however you prefer. All right. I'm going to go right along my edges here. Hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just putting some glue on there. So when I fold it up, it will be covered. I'll try to do this one holding it up. Maybe it'll be easier for you to see. So first we're going to get you over here a little closer. There we go. Just gonna put some glue down there on my brick to hold this down. We're gonna do that again to hold this side down. Okay. Now this is going to be our top and that's going to be our bottom. So our bottom doesn't have to be quite as neat because it's not going to be seen. But this one's going to be seen a little bit more, so we want to work on it being a little more presentable. Okay. And then we're going to fold this down. Finally getting hot enough. I'm just going to hold that for a minute or two. Okay. And I'll hit this probably with the heat gun when we're all done, just so that it'll melt any strings of glue. So this is what we have so far. Now the bottom, as I said, we're going to put a piece of felt on there. Get this little piece here to go down first. There we go. This, I want to make sure that I have it the size of my brick. And as I said, if you have hardwood floors, this is going to keep it from scratching your floor if it does move or somebody kicks it across the floor or something. hurt their foot because it is concrete. It's cement brick, so you can use, if you're not confident cutting this very straight, you can use like one of the little roller cutters for fabric. Those work really nice. I want to make this just a little bit thinner. Actually, I'm going to fold it in half. Maybe help me cut a little straighter. I'm not the straightest cutter in the world when I'm doing freehand cutting. Okay. Alright, so this is going to go on the bottom. Now you can use the same color if you want, if you're worried about being seen or, you know, poking out or anything like that. I'm just going to start this at the top. And I'm going to glue sections at a time because for some reason my glue gun cools off really fast. Faster than normal. And I think it's just because it's old and needs replaced and I just haven't done it. You could probably use E6000 for this if you prefer. Or Fabric-Tac, that would work too. I'm just using glue gun because I don't want the time it takes for all the other stuff to dry. I'm going to trim this end a little bit because it's a little long. Okay. All right. So this is what we have so far. This right here is coming up a little bit. I want to make sure we get it down there. You can go around and make sure all your corners are down. All the little stringies you get with glue gun. If you use one of the other glues, you won't have that. So. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Now we're going to take, and I want to cut my fabric here. I'm trying to see if one of them has a straight edge, but it doesn't really. That's a little straighter, so we'll have to go that way. I want to cut this just a hair bigger than I need it. Because remember, you can always take off. You can't add to. Okay. See if I can get this straight. I keep trying to use those scissors. I think my good ones are downstairs. Need to buy some scissors. We're going to still need that. So we don't want it to go too far away. We want to make sure when we put it on our brick that it touches, kind of barely touches on all three sides, the bottom and the two sides. this top piece we're going to fold under. So it's going to look about like that. And I'm going to fold it back again just a tiny bit, and I'm going to tack that right there with just a dot of glue. Okay, and I'm just tacking just the fabric so it stays kind of where I want it to stay. Okay, I'm going to tack it on just the crease up here is where I'm putting that glue, right up along that crease. To give me that look that I want. Okay. And I'm going to fold it in half. And this is just the way I do it. You take the final product and put it together the way you want it to go together. And I'm going to round this corner. I folded that in half before I rounded. So now I have a round side on both ends. And I'm just going to trim this right here. Sticking out a little bit. Okay. Now, we have some eyelet lace, some white eyelet. Make sure I had enough. Find the right side. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way around this with our eyelet. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue at a time. And I left a little off the end here because I want to be able to flip that around to have a nicer edge. Okay, so we're just going to follow that all the way around. Let's go. Oops. Mercy. Got a piece of glue on me that didn't want to let go. Right there. I'm going to continue around my little curve there. Okay. We're going to go all the way around back up to the top. Little at a time. When you do it a little at a time, it gives you a little more control. For one, you can stretch your fabric out so it lays nicely. And for two, your glue won't dry on you before you get to it. Because hot glue does have a tendency to dry very fast. And that's why a lot of us use it for videos, because then we don't have to wait a long time for something to dry. Okay. Glue to my table. And I'm going to cut this off, but I'm going to leave me some room. So remember, I want to flip this over and glue this down. Gives me a little cleaner, nicer edge. Now this piece that we folded down, you can cut that off, or you can, you know, fold it up, whatever you want to do. I'm going to cut some of it off because it's awfully long. And then I'm going to fold it under just to give me a clean edge on that side, even though nobody's going to see it. You know, I'll know it's there. And give me a little cleaner look. Okay, and you can iron that down, you know, make it all nice and smooth if you want to. Just gonna put me really little bit in these spots here to hold that down a little bit, give it a little cleaner look. Okay, now we're gonna set that aside. Get our fringe back here. And I'm just gonna eyeball some measurements here. What I want to do is make it fit about toward the middle, not hanging over the edge or anything. Okay. And I'm just gonna cut me a little rectangle. Okay. Try to straighten that up a little bit because it is very crooked. Not going to matter a whole lot, but we want to get it a little straighter than that. Okay, and the first thing we're going to do, remembering that we want a clean edge, so I'm going to put a little bit, just a little thin line of glue underneath this top, and I'm going to fold it down. Okay, just to give us a clean, straight edge to work with there. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Not much glue at all. Try to get it, you know, as straight across as you can. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing to just this one side here. Glue kind of dried right there in the middle. There we go. Okay. Now I didn't go clear to the corners because I'm going to dot those corners a little bit. So we'll lay straight. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to go and try to meet my two just halfway. This side I need to get down just a tiny bit more. There we go. Okay. I'll go halfway with my top one. And I'm going to glue the side that I, oops, almost did it wrong. You want the right sides together. Like if you're sewing it together, you want the right sides together. Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the unfinished side, not the side we just folded down, but the other side, the raw edge. And we're going to pull up from the other side, just a tad bit over where you had your other one. We're going to overlap it just a tad. Okay. And then we're going to go right down that seam where the two meet. attach them together. Okay, so we have one end open and the other end is closed up, and our seam across here is closed up. Okay, now comes the fun part. You're gonna flip it inside out. I find it easiest to use my little pokey tool. My fingers don't work so great. And get it started. Use the other end to try to push it out in the corners. You want to push your corners out. Okay. And have a little pocket. We're going to take some of our batting. I'm going to pull it apart. And pull it apart. This is just going to fluff it up a little bit because I don't have the actual, I have like quilt batting instead of just the, like what you stuff pillows and stuff with. Alright, I'll take a little at a time. We're going to put it in here. Maybe got too much at the time. Put them in there. We're going to fill him up. You can make this any size you want. Okay, and once we get him full, we're going to go around our edge we made and pinch it together. You can sew this if you want rather than a glue gun, but it's a little easier for some people who don't sew to just glue. So this way anyone can make this craft. Now my corner here is a little square for me, so I'm going to round it off a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. So we're going to put this eyelet. Hopefully we have enough. And I think we should have just enough. We're going to put him around the edge. Notice I'm going off the edge a little bit again. Because I can always trim it. I can't put it back. I'm going to go down this edge. I'm sure you will have an easier time at this. Your hands work good. Just enough. Just enough. Put a little glue on the end of there. I'm going to fold that back just a little bit to give me a clean edge. And go back around. Okay. Go around, check and make sure. If you missed a spot, like I did right there. Missed a little piece. There he's on there. Okay. What's our nicer end? Let's see, I think that's a little nicer. Let's go this way. Okay, we're gonna take our little pillow we just made. And I'm going to put some glue on him, right in the middle. And we're gonna glue him right there. Okay. Can you tell we're making a little bed yet? All right. I want to finish this off a little more on here. So I'm going to take a piece of eyelet and I'm going to run it across there just because I think it'll look a little nicer. If I can get it right. All right. I don't think I left me enough to turn it. Try that again. Okay. I'm going to start first. I'm going to try to figure out which is the right side of this. I think this is it. Sometimes with eyelet it takes me a minute. I have a hard time figuring out what's the right side. Okay. And we're just going to run down across where we made this little fold. A little at a time again. And just pretty it up. You can quilt this if you want. You know, find a fabric that matches the room you want to put it in. You can fancy these up all kinds of ways. I don't know about you, I have trouble with my living room door when you want to open it for the get some cool breeze coming through. It doesn't always want to stay open, so I always have to prop something up on it. I have a couple bedrooms that way too. And they really don't make a lot of door stoppers anymore, but we can make our own. It'd be a lot prettier anyway. Now, you can get a little stuffed animal that would fit on your little bed. You can get a little doll to put in here if you'd like. You can make a little doll out of felt if you'd like. I just kind of stole one of my cat's toys right at the moment for looks. I used to have some little mice. I think the cats played with them all, and now I don't have any. So I'm going to use this little mouse because I think it's very cute. And we're going to put him in the bed. And we're going to put a little bit of glue right here. Tack it to that side. Turn him around. We're going to put a little glue right here. And we're going to tack into this side. Make him all nice and cozy in his little bed. Now down here at the bottom, we're going to tack it right in the middle. And then I'm going to tack it on this end. You can pleat this down here if you like. You know, whatever you want to do. I'm going to hit just the corner here. Eyelet came off a little bit right there. I want to get that fixed. There we go. Okay. I'm going to pull it up on this side and hit just this little corner. So I like it to flail out a little bit. So that depends on how long you want to make this, is how wide out you want it to go, or how you want it to lay and look. Just a little bit on that corner. Then my little mouse is all snuggled in his bed, and he will hold the door open for you. I just think they're so adorable. And there's so many different things that you can do to change them up. Like I said, if you collect bears, you could make a little teddy bear in your bed. Get coordinating colors for your room that you're putting them in. And I just think they're adorable. Now, I didn't glue my little guy down because he belongs to my cat, for one. And I'll have to get something else to put in there. But you can glue him down if you want inside there. Or you can make it to where you can take him out and replace him, like for different holidays or whatever. However you want to do it. You can uniquely, or you can make them as unique as you want and cater them to what you want them to look like. But I just think they're adorable. And if you're going to have something hold your door open, you know, let's not make it be an ugly old brick. Let's make it something pretty. So y'all have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this craft. If you did, please leave me a comment below. If you make one of these, please post a picture of it in the comments below. I'd love to see what you make. I just think they're adorable, and you can make them as elaborate or as plain as you want them to be. It's your project. You do you. Have a great day, everybody. Love you. Bye-bye.